operas in general. What I'm looking at rock operas, which are, for example, I know this is one that you're probably a fan of. Mm-hmm. The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I love Rocky.
That's a rock opera. See? Yeah. Stuff like that where it's big theatrical presentations with rock music that's Broadway music, but it's rock/metal music, just, in your face kind of stuff. And I'm sure everybody who's a listener has seen one or has heard of one or knows what one is, and maybe they didn't know what it was called. These are rock operas, and I've said that so many times in the last 5 minutes, you're going to remember it now. Rock opera, subliminal message. Talk about it with your friends tomorrow. But yeah, rock operas. And so it's kind of a part of our culture that kind of goes unnoticed, but it's there, and there's a new one every few years, and sometimes it gets really big, sometimes it doesn't. Some of them are more pop opera kind of things. They're the new Broadway musicals that are the kind of in-your-face things, like going back a lot further, several more years. Grease, rock opera, John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John. So we got that. Rocky Horror Picture Show, of course. One of Shell's favorites of all time.
Well, Tim Curry. Come on, it's Tim Curry.
Who is doing well, by the way. He had a stroke a few years back, but, he's doing well. He was out relatively recently, within the last year or so, at some awards thing. And I believe he might have even gotten some kind of Lifetime Achievement Award or something. And he made a speech. He's kind of having some difficulty talking and things like that, but he got his point across fairly well, and he's in pretty good health for, being his age and having a stroke and everything. So good luck to him. Hopefully he'll be around for a lot longer. Going off on another tangent, speaking of Rocky Horror, Meatloaf just put out a new album.
Is he supposed to be retiring?
Yeah, and if you listen to the album, you probably would agree that, yep, it's probably about time.
Yeah.
Not to be, rude to Mr. Loaf, but
time of vacation.
His voice, I don't think, is quite going to last another 10, 20 years of the type of music he likes to do, unfortunately. It musically, it was an interesting album. Vocally, I'm not, it didn't sound like Meatloaf to me anymore. So, but, I got to give it to him. He's still putting it out there. He's still doing his thing, and he's going out on his terms. So, if you got to go out, you might as well go out the way you want to. And if this was the last album to go out on, there are worse albums to go out under than this one. So if anybody hasn't heard it yet and you're interested, go check it out. You can probably find it on iTunes, Amazon, that kind of thing. I'm not really a spokesperson for Meatloaf, so I'm not gonna be like, go out and buy it now, yay, spend your money. But if you're a Meatloaf fan and you want to be able to hear the last thing that he's put together, probably. I mean, he might do something else. I don't know. I don't obviously live with Meatloaf unless I'm baking one in the oven. But those are usually not made of people.
Now, speaking of Meatloaf, he did play in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's why I kind of went off that tangent. He was, and he was served. He was served.
Yeah, he was served, all right.
Dinner. Anyway.
Speaking of Rocky, they actually redid that movie. And I have not seen the revived one.
Things. Yep. I have heard that they have a female lead as the part for the transvestite doctor, which, I guess, yeah, a female lead. She is also an African American.
All right.
Yeah. Let that kind of sink into you a little bit. I have not seen it. I don't know how good, whatever. The thing I kind of have thought about, though, as while a lot of people might say, that's not the same, and you can't do it without somebody like Tim Curry. And, maybe, but the character that he played was one of those barrier-breaking kind of characters.
True.
With the fishnets, makeup, and everything, and obviously being transvestite, transgender, all that kind of stuff. So having someone who is an entirely different gender and an entirely different, color of skin is, I think, perfectly fine, honestly. I mean, I'm not really a purist in that area, so I'm not going to say that it's automatically awful because of a decision like that, but I'd be willing to give it a go.
All right, cool. All right.
Yeah, so there's that. But yeah, rock operas. A few other examples, if people are kind of wondering. I mentioned Grease already, so that's a big one. In some respects, the movie Pink Floyd's The Wall was kind of a rock opera. It was a very theatrical movie. Very kind of like surreal kind of musical sort of thing. Other kind of rock operas. I'm looking at a big list now. The Who actually made one. Tommy was kind of a rock opera. And it's been on Broadway. Won several awards. A rock opera called Hedwig and the Angry Inch. A rock opera. Very kind of transgressive, kind of pushing some buttons for people out there. Very much along the lines of Rocky Horror, although not quite into the fantasy direction. But, if you're a fan of that, you might be a fan of Hedwig. What else do we got here? Going down my big list, because there's an awful lot of them out there. Most of them I've never actually heard of. If anyone out there is a fan of Jack Black's musical endeavors, he's got that band Tenacious D, and they had that movie The Pick of Destiny. Very much a rock opera. It was a comedy, but very much a rock opera, because they did a lot of musical over-the-top numbers and things. So, again, there's a good one. What else? What else do we got here? A recent one that's been on, actually has a sequel that's it's like kind of a made-for-TV kind of thing, called The Devil's Carnival. Features some rap artists in it. If anybody's a fan of a rapper called Tech9, he's gotten relatively big relatively recently, was pretty underground. He's in The Devil's Carnival Part 2. So if you're interested in seeing him in a rock opera kind of horror movie sort of environment with music, that might be for you. So yeah, rock operas are kind of one of those things where it takes the theatrical parts of a rock show and makes them bigger, gives them a full cast of actual characters, and really kind of pushes the limits of what you can do with a song that tells a story, or a set of songs that tell a story, really.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's my tangent for the night, and and if anybody out there has a favorite or one that I didn't mention, there is an awful lot of them out there, and I was looking mostly at Wikipedia to fill in my knowledge of ones that I had not known about. But if anybody knows some out there that I've never heard of or that we might be interested in, go ahead and tell us about them.
For sure.
Call in, or email us, or tell us on the Facebook. Tell us all about it. We'll bring it up maybe next show. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Maybe I'll watch one of them next time I get a chance, and I'll tell you how I felt about it.
Yeah, well, definitely make a topic out of it. That would be kind of interesting. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because even bands that don't have a structured, actual titled rock opera did that kind of music in their shows, like Queen, of course. Very, very kind of musical, that kind of thing. Believe it or not, Mr. Sir Christopher Lee, of many, many horror movies and of Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and all those other things, he made a heavy metal album.
No way.
Yes, he did. It was within the last 10, 20 years also, like very recently. It was about, and it was a rock opera. It was a metal rock opera about the Emperor Charlemagne from Middle Ages, and which coincidentally was an ancestor of his. Ooh. See, so it's an interesting album. I have a copy of it, and I'm impressed.
Wow.
He does a good job. He's got a great voice for it, and the music is definitely very, very technical, structured metal music. It sounds like you could be listening to a good, solid late 80s heavy metal album. It definitely does. So, yeah, food for your brain today.
Food for your brain and listens to your ears. That's all it's about. Alrighty, so let's get into a song. This is the last song for SleepyPilot, See Me Alive. And we'll take a top of the hour break, and we'll come back and talk some more. Alright, cool. SleepyPilot, See Me Alive.
Shining in your eyes. Maybe we could fly away today. Something serious is lurking on the hill. Forward motion and the means to kill. You and me, all the things we could be, yeah. Make me live, I will help you to see, yeah. In the sky, only I want to be, yeah. Help me kill, you will see me alive, yeah. Make your way into the endless light. Don't you wanna be all the things that you can never be? I told you I was a gifted kind. You could end up feeling terrorized. You and me, all the things we could be, yeah. Make me live, I will help you to see, yeah. In the sky, only I want to be, yeah. Help me kill, you will see me alive, yeah.
About the Music is starting.
What is Let's Talk About the Music, and why are you so